What's happening, everyone? This is Brandy H with another exciting animation tutorial. Today we'll be diving into Flash. We'll be using Flash's shape tweens and learning how to manipulate Flash's shape tweens by the use of shape hints. The end result of these two animation exercises will be a waving flag and some water. Now, both these animations took me less than 5 minutes to make, and they're looping animations, so you can reuse them. So say you got like a pirate ship with its pirate flag waving in the wind, traveling down the ocean. You can use these animations for that. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and close this scene, and I'm going to animate with ActionScript 3.0. That's what I usually animate with. Now I will tell you, this is not a beginner tutorial. This is more of an intermediate to advanced. You will need to be educated on Flash's toolset and Flash's timeline. If you do not know that, I highly recommend going and checking out my channel. I have plenty of tutorials on Flash, and you can learn those. So let's get started. I'm going to use the rectangle tool by hitting R, and I'm drawing out a rectangle. My fill is a deep red and my stroke is black. I'm going to use the selection tool to kind of manipulate this triangle and try to get a flag action over here. By holding down Option, I can create another anchor point. When using shape tweens, it is best to minimize how many anchor points you use, because they do tend to crash Flash and it's very process intensive. So the less anchor points you have, the more fun you'll be having with this exercise. So to find out how many anchor points you really have, you can select A or the sub selection tool, and you can see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The anchor points are these little green dots, and that's just kind of what allows me to manipulate the flag how I want to manipulate it. So if you were just to draw a flag with, just say, the pen tool, and like, oh, I want to draw a waving flag. Ah, there it is. Nailed it. And I go ahead and hit the sub selection tool. You can see that it gave me way more anchor points than I really wanted. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Than 6. Now, anchor points is a great way to bring your Flash file higher. So basically, the less anchor points, the better. Let's get started. So we got a waving flag. It's looking pretty good. I like that drawing. I'm going to copy that drawing by holding down Option on the timeline and dragging it all the way to frame 35. So now I got 35 frames to work with. Somewhere in the middle of here, I do want to change this flag and maybe flip it vertically by going to Modify, Transform, and Flip Vertical. There we go. So now we got a little bit of an offset. The corners aren't in the same spots, and that's what we want, because flags are just kind of a little crazy, blown in the wind. So in between these keyframes, we want Flash to do the rest of the drawings. I don't want to draw any of them. I'm feeling pretty lazy today. So by doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put my time slider in between the keyframes, right click, and create a shape tween. And there we go. You guessed it. Flash is kind of animating in between here. It's getting me a decent result, but not really quite what I want. That's okay. We're going to do it again right here too. And Flash is doing it again, which is fine. So now I want to control this animation. I don't want this funky corner spreading thing that's going on. The way I do that is by using shape hints. In order to use a shape hint, you must be on a keyframe. If you are in between keyframes like I am right now and go Modify, you can see the shape is grayed out. So you want to be on a keyframe. So here we are in frame 1, Modify, Shape, Add Shape Hint. You can see right here there's a hotkey, Shift-Command-H. That is the hotkey for a shape hint. Way easier than going to Modify, Shape, Add Shape Hint. So I will be using Shift-Command-H for now on, because I do not want to go to that menu. So looking back at this, oh, look at that. That one shape hint already fixed it. Wasn't really supposed to, but it sure did. If I go ahead and remove, right click and hit remove shape hint, you can see what we had before. It was kind of like twisting around. And if I bring the shape hint in here and I pin it on this corner, and then I go to frame 17, you can see it's no longer on that corner, it's back in the middle. So what you want to do is go ahead and drag it right back onto that corner. Now shape hints only go from point A to point B, which means from one keyframe to another keyframe. And that fixed the waving flag, because basically what it does is I tell that I want this corner to stop going crazy, and I want it to stay right here. And basically what it's doing essentially is pinning that corner down. So I go from frame 1, it's yellow, and that means it's registering, and on frame 17 it's green, and that means it's registering. Before, if I take it off, it turns red, and they're both red, that means it's not working. Just wanted to throw that out there. So I'm going to go ahead and make this green again. It's pinning that corner down, and it fixed what was going on right there. Another way I could do this, just to give you an idea how shape hints work, is if I was to go in the last frame and bring A down here, then Flash will think that this corner right here is the same as this corner up here. And Flash will do the best to try to keep the shape the way it should be. So now as I bring it down, it kind of brings that corner back down there. So basically it's pinning the corner down to where in between the in-betweens right here. What I want to do is I want to pin all these corners down, every single one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and add 3 more shape hints by Shift-Command-H. And they all go in alphabetical order, A, B, C, D. So I'm going to put D right here, C right here, and B right there. They are red because they're not registering yet. That means on frame 17, they're still in the middle. We want them to register. Well, first of all, let's put A right back to its designated corner. We'll put D back where it goes, C, and B. So they're green, and the reason why they're green is they're good to go. Green is at the end of a shape tween, yellow is at the beginning of a shape tween. So that's how you know where your shape hints lie. Because right now, there's nothing going on from frame 17 to frame 35. We still got that funkiness. These shape hints are not affiliated with the other shape tween between these keyframes. So we kind of need to do the same thing. We need to pin those corners down. So I'm going to add 4 more shape hints. Shift-Command-H, 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 Shift-Command-H. And I'm going to go ahead and stack these shape tweens on top of the previous ones. Keep the corners the same. You're like, oh no, my shape tween's red now, it's not green. No, it's still green, it's just a shape hint, correction, not shape tween. They're just stacked on top of each other. These shape hints are actually representing the shape tween between frame 17 and 35. The other ones are representing between frame 1 and 17. So let's go to frame 35, and you guessed it, they're right there in the middle again. So let's go ahead and put them in their designated corners. Let's pin those corners down. Get the results we want. Alright, so now we kind of got a waving flag animation, but it doesn't really give us that ripple in the middle that we want. So I think we're going to need 2 more shape hints to make that happen. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Shift-Command-H and Shift-Command-H. And just as you may know, they do pin down a segment of this shape or this flag. Well, I'm going to throw F on the bottom near C. I'm going to throw E on the top near D. I'm going to go back to frame 17. They're going to be in the middle. If I throw F back over here and E back over there, there's still going to be nothing going on. It's still going to be the same exact thing we have. Although, much like how we made A travel down to this corner before, let's go ahead and throw E all the way over to A. Same thing with F, all the way over to B. And now, we get that little ripple in the middle that we are looking for to get that waving flag effect. So we're going to need to do the same thing between frames 17 and 35. Let's go ahead and add 2 more hints. Here's frame 17 in the beginning. And then we go to frame 35. We're going to take them from being in the beginning all the way to the end again. And now it has a ripple also. So if I hit Command Enter to see a preview of what this looks like, we get a little waving flag animation, which is pretty cool if you ask me. It only took me 2 drawings to do it. Flash did the rest of the work. So that's the power of shape hints. Let me show, and shape tweens. Let me show you how we can do that with water. So I'm going to go ahead and name this layer something creative. How about flag? Yeah, flag will work. It's pretty creative. And we're going to lock it and we're going to hide it so it's there, but it's out of our way. And let's go ahead and name this layer water. Had to think hard about that one. And we're going to go and select a tropical blue color because I like tropical water, so that's what we're going to do. Alright, so outside my stage area, I'm going to put my corners because I don't want anybody to see the corners of my water. And once again at the selection tool and holding down Option, I'm going to give myself some anchor points. Remember, the less anchor points the better. And you also keep your file size down. Okay, cool. I got some water here. Kind of want to bring it a little bit lower. You see there's a flag overlapping it. No, it's not overlapping. We're good. Never mind. Alright, so I'm going to copy this frame all the way over to frame 35 by holding down Option and just dragging it over. So with this one drawing, we're going to get amazing water effects simply by using shape hints and shape tweens. I'm going to right click, create a shape tween, and then just like you guessed, nothing's happening. But if I hit Shift Command H, oh, nothing happened because I'm not on a keyframe. So let me go to frame 1. There you go. Shift Command H. Let's get A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, that's good. This F. We'll throw F on this peak, E on that peak, and then of course we'll just use D corners. It doesn't matter which shape hint you use to make this happen, as long as you have those corners pinned and you got them on these 2 peaks. And then at the end, we're going to do the same thing, except for F is going to be on the 3rd peak this time. Before it was on the 2nd peak. We're going to make it travel to the 3rd. And then this E was on the 1st peak. It was over here, but we're going to make it travel to the peak that F was on. And then once again, we're going to pin down these corners so we don't get any weird morphing of this shape. Alright, there we are. And then, as I scroll through the timeline, you can see we have a really cool water effect. And I hit Command Enter, you will see the flag and the water waving together as one. And that's pretty much how shape hints and shape tweens work. If you have any comment, I'll be happy to answer it. And thank you for taking the time to watch my video. See you guys next time, alright?